This weekend was pretty wild in crypto. We had our president launch a meme coin, and then it got rugged by his wife, who launched her own meme coin. I wanted to talk about the actual tokenomics because there's some things that are a little bit concerning. First of all, when you look at the price, we started at 18 cents and it shot up to about $75. And now it's in this consolidation period, currently at the time of this recording at 49.28. But when you look at the tokenomics, I mean, this is the part that I wanted to discuss, and I wanted to bring on somebody that really knows his tokenomics, and that's Patrick, also known as CryptoRookies. So, Patrick, how are you doing today?
Great. And the thing for me too, I've never seen anything like this in the past.
Do you think that they understand how tokenomics work? And I mean, what do you think about the current status of this?
To me, I would never invest in a token like that. There's basically 80% of the supply that is currently reserved and hasn't been allocated. And they have very generic term like creator one, creator two. We don't know what those are. So I would never really touch anything like this. To make things worse, 10% was part of just the liquidity for the exchange listing and all that things. And 10% was sold, only 10%. And out of that 10%, insiders ended up snatching at the very beginning a large chunk of that. So maybe there's between 5 and 7% in total that is in the end of retail and people like us. So to me, that's extremely bad. If he intend to just keep the 80% for himself, that's the worst project there is on the planet, basically. But the one
But
thing,
how else, Patrick, how else are you supposed to make the price go up, right? Because isn't the whole point is to create this marketing gimmick, right? In order for people to discuss about how much this token has launched, how high it's launched. And so if you keep a very small amount public, then how else are you supposed to manipulate the price to go up so high?
but the thing, it gives you a very high, fully diluted valuation, and then that you can get some headlines of that. But the one scenario is that he doesn't intend to keep enriching himself. Because as the president, like the becoming president today, sure, like he has the right to still do things to make money right now until he's president. But once he's president, he has to not use his role as a president to enrich himself. Like there's a regulation around that. So a lot of people assume that's why he launched the meme coin just a few days before. And it's not impossible, but if he does that, regardless if there's regulation or not, it's a very shady move if he intend to sell a huge chunk of the supply on people and basically rug pull them. It would be horrible. It would destroy his reputation. So what I think is much more likely, and nobody has ever mentioned that, is that I think he kept the 80% to give it as a gift to American citizen. And they probably will have to prove with their tax return or something, KYC, that they are really American citizen. But in order for that to be valuable, because you have 370 million people in the US?
Something
So
like that. Yeah.
yeah. So you would need to, let's say that a gift that is worth it would have to be at least $1,000. But $1,000 would imply that you have near $4 trillion of market cap. So that's massive. It's bigger than Bitcoin. So I don't think.
Are you saying that maybe if you hold the Trump token, then you would receive this gift in your wallet? Is that kind of
No,
what you're suggesting?
what I'm suggesting is that, we heard the basic income narrative that you would get just every week some income, just because you exist. It would be a really good way to make sure that he get a very popular, vote with the citizen, because if you give 370 million people the token for free out of that 80% supply that is not currently allocated or maybe kept for himself, that would be a good way to get people to like him even more. He gives free money himself as a person. So I think that's much more likely to be what is intent to do. But saying right now with the current market cap, it would be just a few dollars. It's not really worth it with that many people, like 370 million. So you would have to boost the market cap to like $4 trillion to make it worth it. So I think it will be very hard to grow to that level. But that's maybe why there's such a small percentage that is like anybody can buy on the market right now, is that means that your giving a lot of money to American citizens that are taking the money out of people in other countries, like all over the world. So if he does that, that's really smart. That will explain why the tokenomics is built in that system. But if you do that, you cannot give the token to people. They're going to sell so quickly. Like people who never touch crypto, they're not going to keep it. So the only way that it would make sense is if you adopt a price-based vesting. But thing, as we discussed many times, nobody does that right now, where I'm the only one who talk about this model as opposed to a time-based vesting. So I don't know if he's even aware with his Tokenomics advisor that something like that could be done. Maybe not. So if they intend to release the token over 36 months, this is going to crash really badly. Even if he managed to get to 4 trillion, it's going to be a horrible like downside for most people that ended up buying late. So
if he was to sell his portion, I mean, I imagine the token would just absolutely dump, right? Because so
exactly.
he can't really sell his portion or even give it away absolutely free, because like you said, retail will end up selling it, and then so the entire token would just collapse. I don't think he wants that on his hands.
Yeah, that's why the only option is a price-based vesting where you issue limit sell order at various price point until you get to $4 trillion of market cap. This way it doesn't cause sell pressure, but you need to have market adoption to get there. So that's the only way that I can see that it would make sense and would be possible to do it like this.
All right, and
right now is based on time unlock. So to me, that's why I would be highly surprised if his tokenomics advisors even know that you can do a price-based vesting as opposed to time-based one. So it's a short vesting period, and if we have a bear market that comes toward the end of 2025, you can have massive unlock during that time. If it's in the end of retail or anybody, and they start selling, it will make the crash even worse. If there's a bear market coming this year, unless it thinks that he can manage to avoid the bear market during his 4-year tenure. And maybe that's why he picked a 3-year vesting period. Because
yeah, I mean, some people are saying this token would take us into a bear market. You know, having a president launch his token. So there's a lot of concern out there, right? It's a mixture. There's I posted a poll within my community network Spotlight, and most people feel unsure about. They don't know how to feel about this. And then the second most was they feel great about it, and then thirdly is they just feel absolutely terrible about it. But I think I would agree with most people that we're not really sure the damage, but I do believe that every cycle, the type of events that move the market have to be larger in magnitude because the market is larger. And so you have to have every cycle things that have never happened to us before. When Michael Saylor started buying Bitcoin, that was something that was unheard of. And that really moved the market. But we also had concerns because we were thinking, okay, now these institutions are going to be coming in, buying up all of this Bitcoin. Where does that leave us as the regular people that are trying to accumulate? And I think very similar here is there's a lot of excitement around the president launching a meme coin, but at the same time, there's also a lot of concern. But regardless of whether this meme coin is launched or not, it's not going to change the fact that 2025, most likely the party will end at some point. And yeah, I mean, we now have a degen president. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this, but that's essentially where we're at right now. Patrick, anything else to add in regards to this token?
I think for me, I totally expect today, when he does an address to the American people, yes, if he's really behind this token, and he intend to give it to people, it would be the right time to do it, not to wait an extra week or month before he announced that. He has to come clean and say that it's really him. Because right now, even though his page and a bunch of people say that it's him, he hasn't said it himself, so in a public manner. So to me, he has to say it. Otherwise, I'll still think there's a possibility that it's some sort of scammer. And maybe the reason why he didn't deny that it's is because they are doing an investigation to find out who it is that did that. So we'll
possibly.
see.
I mean, I guess we can't rule it out 100%, but I'm pretty sure, especially now with the MELANIA token. I mean, the odds that both of their accounts got hacked, I don't know. It's kind of slim because if you notice at around 4 o'clock, when Melania launched her token, Trump's token just collapsed.
Yeah, definitely. His people move their money to the new shiny object. But the thing is that the MELANIA token is even worse from what I've seen. It's even more owned by insiders. And some people are making the theory that the insiders on Trump didn't expect it would grow that large. So they ended up selling too quickly. And so now they're giving themselves an extra chance with MELANIA. But yeah, regardless, I'm not touching those tokens unless he has a good way to not crash the market eventually. At any moment, those things could crash 90%. Because those are massive market cap, and the attention of people and the negative network effect that I talked to will kick in at some point, and it will be over at this point.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about the token distribution for Melania?
But I think team vesting 35%, that's not a meme coin. It's a... To me, it's nonsense. They may call it a meme coin, but it's not. If you keep 35% for the team behind the launching of it, and then the community 20%. Who's that community? Like, how do you get it? To me, that's not clear. The public distribution is probably the only thing that people have a chance. But right now, they're saying it was mostly acquired by insiders, like very early. So someone bought for $600,000. He ended up selling for 29 million, if I recall, and he still has an extra 30 million left of dollars. So he converted the thing that insider ended up getting a huge chunk of it. So that's not good. And then the treasury, that could be good. It depends what they do with this. If the only intention is to sell it at the worst time when the market price is crashing, and they start selling the treasury because they want to finance other type of operation or marketing, that's a really bad way of doing it. But if market adoption is growing and the buying volume is there, and then you're selling part of the treasury to make like a Bitcoin treasury or Solana treasury, then that makes sense. And then you use that treasury to buy back the token later when people start to selling in masses. That makes sense if you do it like that, but I'm not sure that that's what their plan is. So.
Yeah. Well, again, hopefully the something good comes out of this. We'll have to tune in and see. But Patrick, thanks again, as always, for you coming in and breaking down the tokenomics. And for those that are watching, if you found this information useful, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends. Everyone needs to know about how these tokens are built, because before you invest in something, you need to understand it first and not just jump in head first. So with all that said, thanks again, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.